when last we left off, the parties got together, which is very exciting. And they uh, went and investigated magical darkness that settled over the city. Um, they returned, or they brought a wagon of supplies to the Duke to distribute through the city for an antidote to zombie rot. And the rest of the day they spent getting to know each other, chatting at the Duke's manor. Skippy went off for his own adventure, or Ander, sorry, went off for his own adventure, and they were given three different tasks to do by the Duke. One is for a diplomatic group to meet with the king. Another is for a sneaky group to see if they can find what tomes the king has taken out of the Great Library and out of circulation. And the third group is doing research at the Great Library, where they will be looking for any valuable information that may help the city in this siege that's been going on for quite some time now. So tonight we are doing the diplomacy group and the heist group. So you guys wake up in the morning. You've all had your chance to chat away about things. And the same thing happens this morning as last. The sun briefly rises, and then magical darkness again spreads over the city, plunging it into night.
Well, that isn't good.
I'm already sick of this. So do we have like an invitation to see the king, or do we still have to like obtain means to see the king?
You have when you wake up in the morning, there is an invitation, a summons from the king to meet. So the Duke has already put all the pieces in place for that to happen.
All right. How do we all look? Like, what can I just kind of get a bit of a rundown for everybody as to how we're peering towards the king?
Oh, KTR has gone out on his wardrobe.
Ysmyr has prestidigitated Tempus so he looks tidy.
Well, thanks for giving away my surprise, but Tempus is wearing a fine-cut suit and a long flowing cloak that you would recognize as being Ysmyr's. His suit is pressed and clean, and he looks neat.
The
Okay,
heist group has to go in front of the king?
I was about to say, aren't you Project Stealth?
Gotta get in there.
Yeah, and
Oh God!
Okay, that's right. All of us have to enter the castle, and then off we go. Gotcha.
Is it too late to get off of Project Stealth? Because I got a bad feeling about it.
It's too late. We need you.
You are committed.
So Yaereene is dressed in her fancy clothes from her date, because that's the only fancy clothes she has with her.
Grun is wearing blue dragon scale mail. He's got a big old great sword and a giant hammer on his back, and yeah, he's got that or commoner's clothes.
And Yaereene does have her elven cloak tucked away. She's not wearing it, but she has it on her person.
Yeah, I think elven chain is enough of a rarity around these areas that it's going to look pretty magnificent.
It certainly does.
Oh, yeah. And Ysmyr's like her general stuff, but kind of same idea. It's all like her breastplate shined up and stuff.
Yeah, Grun will have made sure he ensured, like, somebody prestidigitated his stuff and he's cleaned it all. He's as put together as he can, looking like an adventurer.
Skippy,
Adventurer, warrior, queen.
Skippy's hair is probably going in all different directions because he's still not really sure what he's supposed to do with it all. And licking it is, it's not come naturally to that aspect of, being a feline. So, the self-grooming and stuff like that maybe hasn't been happening as much. And I know that, like we prestidigitate, but there's only so much you can do even with magic.
All right.
Yep.
I am taking a look, and I probably have a brush because I probably do brush my hair before I go to bed. Like 100 strokes to keep it, lustrous and supple and shining. So I'm basically like, well, do you, do you want some help managing the pelt there?
I'll kind of look at you and do a double take. And are you talking to me?
Hi. You want to look your best. You don't want to be sticking all over the place. You want to be sleek and groomed and look as magnificent as you are.
I don't know. I don't feel like I want to hide.
Come here. Come here.
He'll edge away from you.
And seeing
He's got an
Skippy's
idea now.
discomfort,
Good luck.
seeing Skippy's discomfort, Grun will just kind of put a hand on Takira's shoulder, and it's very gentle but very unmoving. And he's like, "Don't worry about Skippy. He goes all natural."
Aye. Whatever. And then I just start I turn away and do a little bit of a flounce, and then I start brushing my hair.
Okay. And for those of us who have to talk to the king, do we know what we're asking him about? Or is this just
Not really.
try and strike up a conversation about
Well,
what's going on?
Isn't part of the issue that it's a kind of an open question, just exactly how much the king is still.
We're not asking him how his marbles are.
No. I know that, but that you can usually get a feel for a person's.
Yes, but we have to talk long enough for them. And she points to like Skippy, Yaereene, and Tempus to do their job.
I mean,
So
why don't we just report to the king how we've brought in the supplies to get zombie rot cure? And
if I might make a suggestion, we do have news about something that he's very interested in.
oh dear, which book?
None. We know where his son is.
that is true.
Oh, aye.
Oh, we have a couple topics
Okay.
right there. Great.
So we'll discuss the supplies you brought. We'll discuss how you guys know where his son is. We can tell him the information that we have discovered in our individual journeys, things that we shared last night, and expound upon these. I think your friend here, and Grun will gesture to Kiera. I feel like your friend here would be fantastic at drawing out the story, while those of us who are less eloquent can stay and try to observe and witness the exchange, speak where we need to, but we can prolong this, I believe, with our combined efforts.
I was going to
Now-
say, if you dole out the pieces of information that we have and sort of weave it into the general stories of our adventure, I'm sure you can buy some time.
Now the question is, out of character, have we shared that we've time traveled with the other group? I don't think we have.
Nope.
Was that
Edwin would have been all over you.
I feel like that's something that, yes, in the last month we should have brought up if we were going to bring up. But I also think it's something that's
We've got to be very careful
Very
about
careful
saying
with.
why we know where the prince is, because that's part of us being time travelers.
yeah.
I mean, out of game, you could very easily demonstrate it by Ysmyr scrying on the prince, or like some other means of contacting him. Like you do have two clerics who could potentially cast sending.
Well,
But
because that could also make it into a conversation where we do a thing and actually provide the king a chance to talk to his son through a medium, of
I
course.
don't think any of us have a means to allow him to talk to him for a long period of time. But yes,
Oh, I said
it's
no
something-
means.
yeah, it's something we have, which is great. So Ysmyr is like nodding along with everyone and be like, all right, so we're all on the same page. Just wanted to be sure about that part. I don't know how we're going to get you three out of there so you can do your work, but it's a start. Just, yeah.
we're very capable. If worst case scenario, I don't know. Yaereene's been working on her seduction. She can seduce us out of there.
She just goes white.
Tara is just blinking and looking askance.
Grun,
Yes, Skippy.
are we gonna let them talk for us, or do we have our own person?
That's what
I think it may almost be a good idea for us to approach as two groups working together. We can speak separately, and that may even assist in prolonging things further. But I do think we should present ourselves to the king together.
And
Well,
Grun here seems very good.
Yeah, Grun's going to be in the party, so I mean, he'll be representing the events your group went through. I mean, that's not our tale to tell, is it, Grun?
Well, we'll have the experience to provide details from. So yes, I think that's definitely our tale to tell. But I feel, and we can see as we go. But I feel like you, Tahira, will be the best one to speak when we're speaking of trying to prize information from the king. I feel like your words may be better suited for that.
Well, we shall see. If nothing else, I can always throw some music in there, and
I don't know.
Not to brag.
Depends on if he asks for music. Breaking into it in the middle of talking to him might be a little odd.
Well, using music as a background while I'm talking, and then like throwing some stylish riffs.
When you're telling the tales, you can make a show of it. That's fine.
I would think at this point you might notice that Group 2 is huddled in a little circle and are starting to talk excitedly to Skippy.
Yeah, you guys hear Grun kind of go like, "Wait, what?" And then probably Skippy hushes him quietly.
What? I met a guy last night who had a book, and it was about 3 gnomes that run a city somewhere around the Lake of Tears in the western area. Who these 3 liches run a gnome village, and this guy's really interested in finding it.
Okay, we may need to make a quick pit stop back in Valville a little bit later. Who's this person that you got the book from? Is this somebody that we can trust the source from, or can we verify the book?
Well, there's supposed to be a copy in the Great Library, but he said that the king has been gathering books and taking them off the shelves, and yeah, he's asked me to actually get him a list of whatever we find in his in the library for the king. And he said, that he would exchange that for favors. And he's not of the savoriest type in the world, but yeah.
Okay, Skippy, I think right now we don't need the information about Valville getting out to the general public, so maybe we need to keep that one under wraps for now. And because, I mean, the fact that there's other liches out there is terrifying. However, these liches maybe so far appear to be protecting Valville. Maybe they can give us some clues as to how to defeat Lucius.
Yeah.
I know Group 2's in a huddle, but can we catch any of that?
Yeah, KTR just sent me a private message saying, "Does a passive perception of 18 let me hear about this?" And I'm going to say, yeah, you guys all were discussing things, and then you overheard Ander talking about the liches and whatnot. And so, yeah, you're all on the same page.
How long has Valville been controlled by liches?
Well, a long time. But I mean, we learned that some liches are not bad, right? Like
That's true.
They're not all evil.
What?
Right. We ran into, what was he? A ghoul? Whatever he was, who had a diary, who talked about one called Venya, who seemed pretty okay until she went nuts.
Yeah, she's been imprisoned by Lucius, and she's tried to help us, but then she turned me into an undead skeleton as well. And then Grun had to cut my skin off.
Wait, what?
Don't worry, he got better.
Excuse me,
clearly.
but
Interesting existence.
Excuse me, but is any of this relevant to the current life or death caper that we're about to undertake?
Oh, no. Sorry, I sometimes get distracted.
Hey, we've all been there, champ. This sounds like some pretty important stuff to take care of after we see the king. You want somebody silenced? I'm your man, and Tempus will crack his knuckles meaningfully. But for
Um,
right now, why don't we get to some thieving?
Yeah, before we do that too, I just wanted to know what people thought about, possibly teaming up with the underground, because if I'm gathering information for this guy, I want to know that in advance.
I don't love it, Skippy. I mean, it feels like you've worked really hard to put this all behind you, and I'd hate to see you fall back into it. And I don't know that I can trust
Well, the
these guys to keep their end of the bargain.
Yeah, I think I read, or maybe it was Faye who said, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, and I think he might be that sort of enemy. We're not directly opposed to each other at the certain thing, but the fact of the matter is the blockade that is going on with the city is probably hardest on some of the uh, you know the most needy of the people in
The
the
lower
city.
class.
Yeah, and as a result, it's hard on him, right? So he is very interested in trying to end the lich outside of the gates. When I told them what we did, they basically let me leave with all my stuff, which they didn't have to do. He did extend a few olive branches, but um, we can always discuss this at the end too. I was just thinking that maybe it would be nice to know ahead of time.
Yeah, we'll look through what information you gather and decide what you share. But thank you, Skippy, for letting us know in advance.
And with
Oh,
that,
we're
are
off.
you ready to head off?
Let's do this.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
So it is nighttime. Are you guys bringing along any torches or light sources that I should put on your tokens?
Is there
I
anybody
have
who
dark
can't
vision.
see in the dark? Anyone at all? There's your answer. We advance under the cover of night.
Okay.
I can always throw a light spell, I believe.
Don't
Why?
need it. We can all see.
Cool.
Sounds good. So on Foundry, I've drawn all of your characters over to the King's Manor. And what you see is an imposing stone building. You don't see any windows in it. Although you do see spots where windows may have once been, but they've all been brick and mortared up. So there's no visible windows anywhere in the building.
Well, that's
I don't
foreboding.
see my token unless it's under somebody else.
I will grab yours. I must have missed placing it.
Also, everybody, we've had a long rest, so make sure you update your tokens.
Yeah, I should be all healed. That my tokens is not reflecting it, but my character sheet is.
Yeah, same for me. I thought it did that.
Good.
Oh, it's just because you're in the VTT. You're not healed.
Yeah, but I did the long rest in Forge.
I'll just update your character sheets.
Oh, then it might be beyond 20. If you haven't healed yourself in beyond 20, that might be the problem.
I did it in Beyond 22.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
I'll just manually import characters so that they're up to date.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're all in the right status.
Okay. So you approach the manor, and it looks like Skippy knocked. So, you wait a moment, and the door opens, and you see a well-dressed gentleman inside the manor who says, "Yes, you must be the ones that the king has summoned to speak, the ones from outside the city. Am I correct?"
You
Yes.
most certainly are, sir. And do I have a copy of the document?
Yes.
And I produce it and show it to the gentleman. And if he wants to take it, I'll let him take it.
He just looks at it and nods. Says, "Very well. Welcome to the king's manor. He is most excited to speak with you. Please come into the foyer with me." And he backs up.
Well, we feel the most honored to be asked to give our information to the king directly. That is quite a thing. Thank you very much.
Skippy is bowing to everybody.
So as you, Ysmyr, do you have control of Rhodes's token?
Yes, I do.
Okay, perfect. Yaereene, are you staying outside in
Nope.
Oh, there she
Sorry.
goes. Yeah, no
She's
problem.
following very closely behind Ysmyr. Wherever Ysmyr goes, that's where she's going to go until she runs off away.
Okay. So the person who greeted you says, "I am Major Domo Allant, at your service. If you don't mind, the king has requested some refreshments be put aside for all of you in the dining room, and I will take you there."
How do you
And
spell the
he,
Major Domo's name? Sorry.
Allant, Alent.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Thank you, good sir. We appreciate the gracious offering.
I bow to him again.
The game is frozen. There we go. And you note as you make your way through that this is a grand house with huge statues of knights larger than life. All of the stone walls are intricately carved. You can see that they have a lot of torches and candles throughout. And as you make your way through, you can see to your left a grand staircase and several guards. All the guards are holding torches because it is so dark inside. And the
Before
major. Oh, sorry.
before the major domo moves beyond here towards the grand staircase, Grun would just like to ask, Major Domo, where does this lead?
This door right in front?
Yeah.
This is the dining hall that I'm bringing you to. The king is currently up in his throne room, up the grand stairs. You will be speaking with him momentarily. I'm sorry, I haven't given you a proper tour of the manor. He was quite specific about bringing you to the dining hall immediately upon your entrance. However, very briefly, the stairs there do lead up to the throne room. There are bed chambers below, just behind the stairs. Also, all the way down the hall, you'll see a couple of guards there standing at the end. There's a door to the king's own bed chambers with the queen as well in his study. You'll see the torches on the south wall, flanking another door that go out to the grounds. There's a fountain and a pleasant sitting area out there. And then to the south, south of the foyer, there's a grand hall, which leads to the king's own private library.
Okay, what is he referring to there? Because that
Like when we walked in, remember when we walked in, there was north and south. He's talking if you had headed south when we walked in, that would lead you to the grand hall and the private. Because Grun wanted to see where the stealth crew's got to go.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking too, and I heard that was the grounds, but you kind of disappointed me. But hey.
And so the major domo continues and opens the door and heads into the dining hall. You can all have a seat on the benches and make yourselves comfortable. Food will be arriving shortly. Please make yourselves at home. I will go and tell the king that you have made your way to the manor.
Major Domo, may I ask how long before the foods arrive? I just wish to tidy myself up before food arrives.
The food should be out momentarily. They will begin with some appetizers, which should be fresh baked manchet and a salad to get you started. Just something light. I believe there will be eggs and bacon following that.
If
Wonderful,
Tempest,
thank you.
if Tempest goes to that door at the north end of the hall and gives a great big sniff, what does he smell beyond the door?
Sorry, where are you? Oh, you smell. Well, give me a perception check.
And can Yaereene hear anything beyond it?
You can give me a perception check too.
Not the worst.
Um,
You smell fresh baked bread and eggs and bacon. And Yaereene, you can hear the sounds of people cooking food on the other side of the door.
Ryan.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a little maneuver as
Okay.
as everybody's going into the dining hall. I go to like follow up, like be the last one in, and I go to walk through there, and I'd like to cast while his back is turned, disguise self to make myself look like one of the guards.
Okay.
And then I'm going to close the doors behind everybody and step out to the side like I'm guarding the dining room doors.
Okay.
And sorry to jump in here. With Grun having chatted up the major domo, does Tempest have enough time to go to that door, take a sniff, and then come back to where Grun and the major domo are talking?
Yep.
Tempest would like to say to the major domo, "It is customary among my people to touch grass before we enjoy a meal. I think I smell the smell of the outdoors somewhere around here. Do you have a courtyard or a vista that I may make use of?"
Certainly, of course. And he looks at Grun. Is this a custom of yours as well? Is it of the Orcish people? I'm not aware of this custom. We sadly have not had the opportunity to uh, engage with orcs.
Excuse me, are you saying you can't tell the difference between a half-orc like myself and a half-human like Grun?
Um, he looks between the two of you.
Grun will place his hand on his shoulder. It's like, worry not, I'm not offended. No, this is not a pardon me, this is not a custom of myself. It is a custom of my friend. I shall await the food here with my other companions.
Oh, very well. And he turns to Tempus. Yes, I can take you to the courtyard. It is on my way to speak with the king. It would be my pleasure to take you along.
And Yaereene follows because she's Orcish now.
Okay. And so the major domo leaves the room.
I'll interrupt the major
Thank-
domo. I'll interrupt the major domo as he's walking by. I'll say,
Okay.
"Excuse me, sir. I couldn't help but overturn her. I'd be happy to escort the individuals to the grounds while you talk to the king."
Give me a either performance or deception roll, your choice.
Well, they're both the same, so.
Okay.
God damn it! Ah! Why can't anything go right today?
Do you have any DM inspiration?
Oh, I don't know. Do I?
He looks at you curiously and says, "You, guard, where's your torch? All guards have been told to have torches at the ready."
I apologize. I was late to my post and didn't receive the notification.
Well, you can come with me to get a torch from one of the other guards, and I will take these guests. And he does a double take at Yaereene, having only just noticed that she's there as well. I'm taking them to the courtyard.
All right. You get the torch. I'll take him to the courtyard.
Yeah. No.
No?
And he points at the guards to the north there for you to go and get a torch from Ander, and continues on with Tempus and Yaereene.
I go over to the person and take his torch and then follow orders of the major domo.
Very well. Hands you a torch. So you.
And while the rest of us are waiting in the dining room, when it looks like we're finally alone, and Ysmyr's just like, I'm already worried.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have no idea where Skippy is, and that always just makes me a little uncomfortable. Yeah. But you know what? Here's the thing. As much as Skippy can get into endless chaos, he also always seems to come through and pulls out an absolute win. I trust him, and I think they'll be able to get something out of this. We just need to get them all the time that they need to pull this off.
Who are the two people sitting on this bench?
I'm just quietly practicing my loot.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. There's people on a bench in here. What?
Not in here.
Oh,
This is going to get a little confusing. Okay. So, yeah, you guys discuss Skippy's mysterious disappearance, and the heist group finds themselves in a grassy courtyard. There's a fountain that babbles constantly. You can see that there are two guards at the door, which was closed behind you as you entered the courtyard, and two guards at the end of a long hall that ends in a metal door that glows magically. On the bench, you see a man who is sitting with his hands on his face, and a woman who bears some resemblance to him, with an arm wrapped around his shoulders, speaking softly to him.
Okay. Well, big magic door guards. I'm probably not going to let us in.
Has Skippy indicated who he is under his disguise as a guard?
Oh
Like,
yeah. He'll give you like a look, like a really weird look, like whenever somebody's not looking, and say, "My name's Sander."
Who the hell is Ander?
He told us.
Yeah, I know, but my way's funnier. Yeah, okay. So we're together. We know who each other is. Can we just sort of convene in an area a little bit off of where everybody else is standing and just have a quick little group huddle?
Yes.
Okay, so Tempus is going to say, all right, just a heads up. I have it on good information that that door at the courtyard is sealed by magic, but it should get us to where we need to go inside the king's private chambers if we're able to make it in. I have 2 doses of sleepy time poison, and he's going to just sort of casually palm one to Yaereene and palm one to Ander. And he's going to say, I've been told that if you can hit them with this, it should stand a good chance of knocking them out. Basically, we got to get past those guards over there. Do either of you have any plans at all?
I would just like to interject. Was that actually your understanding of what the what Fennel told you?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking he wants us to get caught so he can go off going on alone. Can I do an insight check on him, please?
On Tempus?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The exact words were, there is a second way through the courtyard entrance, but no one ever uses it because it's been magically sealed and guarded. He doesn't recommend it because you'd have difficulty getting into the manor. I see. This isn't an entry into a secret guard room. This is an entry into the actual manor itself. So, okay, never mind. That is...
If you were trying to deceive the party or anything like that.
All right, then if that's the case, let's go for a private tour of the king's chambers.
No, I take it all back. I wasn't trying to deceive you guys because, like, I need to work together with you to get to where we need to go. So, excuse me. Tempest is going to rewind time for 20 seconds. Faywin would be jealous, and he's just going to say, that's another exit to outside of here. Basically, like, I just got us away from here. Here's your 2 doses of sleepy time poison. Does anybody have a plan for how we can try and get into the king's chambers?
Well,
I think I could just escort you there, can't I?
and I have Pass Without Trace, which will help a little bit if we can get not seen.
Do you have a reason as to why you'd be escorting 2 strangers into the king's chambers?
Well, it doesn't matter. I think that we should use the sleepy time on the 2 guards that are in the foyer, just on the other side of the door here.
There were a lot of guards in the foyer. Are you sure?
There's only 2 in the around the staircase.
Well, I'll follow your lead. Maybe we should talk to that pair that was over by the bench. They might be relevant in some way. We could maybe use them as human shields, if nothing else.
Maybe
Uh, the,
listen in on what they were saying. He seemed quite unhappy, right?
well, the guards will be able to see us listening in.
The guards will see us touching the grass and communing with the earth.
Okay, go touch the grass then. I'll guard you.
All right. So we'll get back to the other group in the dining hall, since you guys have been chatting for a while. It's not long, as promised, before someone comes out of the kitchens and comes to the tables with big plates full of breads and leafy greens for you guys to get started on. As she places plates at the table for you before returning to the kitchen. And she says, the bacon and eggs will be along shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Feels a bit odd to start without our host, though. And she's gone. Never mind.
So this is all cold food. None of it's hot.
The bread is warm, a fresh bake this morning.
Okay, I'm still waiting. I'm looking at it, but I'm not diving in yet.
Grun's gonna say, just because I'm not sure. Do you know if there's any reason why the king would be upset with us already? Have anything out against us?
Are you thinking exactly what I'm thinking?
Yeah, give me a moment. And Grun's gonna cast Detect Poison and Disease.
Okay. You cast Detect Poison and Disease. And can you like that spell for me?
Working on it. Sorry, let me try it here.
No. You don't sense any poisons or diseases in the food.
Okay, and then I would like to make my way to the door where they came out of. I'd like to walk through if it's not locked in any way.
It's not.
And while in here, I'm gonna pop in and be like, so sorry. Do you happen to have some extra water? I get quite thirsty while eating, and while doing so, I'd like to look around and move into the room enough to scan the full kitchen.
Okay. She says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my lord. I was planning on bringing the wine out with the next course. But yes, of course, if you're thirsty, you can grab a bottle right there on the table."
Oh, thank you so much, and please, don't apologize. It's just a habit of mine while feasting. I'm looking forward to the meal. It smells delicious. Do I get any sense of any poison or disease in here?
Nope.
Thank you so much. We're greatly looking forward to the meal. Your hospitality has already been wonderful, and we'll grab a bottle of wine on his way out, or 2 bottles if there's there.
Yeah, there's lots of bottles, so you can grab a couple.
All right, I'll head back to the group and say, okay, all the food in the kitchen, everything. There's no poisons. There's no illnesses. There's nothing there. So hopefully that's a good sign for things to come.
Well,
maybe he just wants to talk, and he heard about some adventures. You could be very helpful.
Well, you went for poison and disease. Is there anything about that would take up sleeping potions, soporifics, truth serums?
Poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases. So it depends. A poison could be considered a foreign substance to your body, so a serum of some kind would potentially also be poison. But it really depends on how particular about that Ryan wants to be. If that falls under magic, then I'd have to do a detect magic run.
Ryan, I have my suspicions that a sleeping potion or a soporific or something like that isn't a poison because it doesn't kill you; it just puts you to sleep.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean,
well, that there are sleeping potions, or not potions, poisons. So that can be ingested. So his spell isn't picking up anything like that.
okay, so they are defined as poisons. Cool.
So yeah, Grun will start eating.
Okay.
And,
is anybody else partaking?
Ysmyr will nibble.
I'm just going to nibble at the bread for now.
And I assume Rhodes will eat as well.
It seems fine. Yeah.
And Grun will eat heartily, but not not to the point of like being full or anything. He knows multiple courses are coming, and he doesn't want to have sleepy belly by the time he gets to the king. But he's not like picking at it either.
Actually, I'm gonna poke Rhodes and ask him if he could cast purify food and water.
I don't think he has that prepared.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he did, but I'll check his character sheet.
Doesn't look prepared.
Oh well, it was a thought.
Can all of you give me charisma saving throw, please?
Ha!
So it was even in the bread and not just the salad? Cool.
All right. You guys are the charisma party, so it makes sense that you would all roll really well. So you have no ill effects from eating the food. It tastes just normal. So while you're eating, the Heist Group, you're in the courtyard still, and you're eavesdropping on the two on the bench.
Yes, I am near the fountain, bent touching the grass, head down, and eavesdropping for all I'm worth.
Okay. So I'll need a perception check from anybody who's eavesdropping. Yeah, Yaereene, you're having a hard time hearing anything over the fountain. But Skippy, you can overhear. He's basically saying, "It's all my fault. All of it. All of it's my fault." And she's like, "No, it's not. You can't beat yourself up over it forever. You have to let this go." And he's basically just in this state where he's saying the same thing over and over again. Or he's shouldering a lot of blame for something.
Well, I'm not gonna tell anybody, but I don't think we can get too much more from him without getting really obvious. So I'll say to the two individuals, well, let's continue our tour. Not to
will nod
to
and
Yaereene.
stand.
Yeah, to Yaereene and
Tempus will follow Skippy's prompt.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see which way Skippy leads us.
oh yeah, you're
That's
right.
the-
There is a lot more people here,
Yeah, that's the king's chambers too.
which is the only way we know that where the library is, right?
No, I thought south when we came in, going that
Oh,
way.
okay. Yeah, let's go that way. Once we're to here, I'll tell what I overheard.
Okay, and you're gonna have to go first here.
I'll nod to the guards and through here we have and just kind of continue down to the king's library, and just kind of regurgitating what I heard the other guy say about the walls and stuff like that, and kind of like without any look at them besides a nod, lead them right through the door.
They stop. They come together before you can get through, and they say, "Hold on there. We've been given orders not to allow anybody into the library."
Yes, I was aware of that. I apologize. Major Domo sent me to give them a private tour of the library.
The major domo, and they look at each other. Give me a deception roll.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's better.
Damn fine.
They look at each other and say, "Well, if that was the major domo's wish, then by all means."
And away we go.
Bravo.
And as you enter the library,
Sorry,
you
one quick query.
Sure.
Skippy, are you coming inside with us? Oh, okay.
Absolutely. I just was having trouble coming through the door.
Okay, never mind. Please keep going.
Okay. So as you enter the library, you can see that there are shelves to either side of the entryway, lined with books and scrolls. There are many tomes in here. The room is completely dark, again windowless, and you don't see or hear anybody about.
Tempus going to turn back to the other two and he's going to say in a low, hushed voice, "All right. I know we have different motives for being here, but as far as I'm concerned, this is still a fight. Victory means our side walking away safely and getting what we have to. Any other disagreements can be settled outside of this place when us and our friends are safe. Agreed?
Somewhat. We'll see.
Mhm.
Imp is going to give you a sour look, and yeah, I guess that's it.
She's sticking to you like glue, just so you know.
Okay, well then,
I'm gonna start hitting. I'm already looking at titles and trying to see if I can find that the three gnome book.
casting a quick eye over the books, does there appear to be any order, rhyme, or reason? Like, is there any kind of cataloging system? Does there appear to be any order to where the books are stacked? Does it look like there's some clear indication like this book just came in the latest and that's why it's on the shelf closest to the door?
Give me a perception roll.
May I as well?
So Ander and Tempus are looking around trying to figure anything out about this room, but it doesn't appear to be anything untowards. Yaereene, you note that all of these books are dusty. There's none of these have been read or moved in a very long time.
She is going to mention that to them so they don't disturb the dust on them.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna use my wand of secrets.
Okay,
And Yaerene's just going to check out the rest of the books briefly as well over in this
sure.
area.
Yeah, you see, it's all the same here. This library, you get the sense, isn't actually used. All right. So, Ander, you want to use your wand of secrets? How's that work?
Just one sec here. Wand of secrets has 3 charges. While holding it, you can use the action to expend one of its charges. If a secret door trap is within 30 feet of you, the wand pulses and points to the one nearest you. The wand regains 1d3, and the rest is
Okay. So are you using it where you're standing now?
right there.
So 30 feet. The wand pulses and points. Oh, why is it not painting the map? Do you see anything? Oh, it's right because I'm on the wrong mode. Pointing right there.
All right. I will search it for secret doors.
Okay.
Perception.
Give me an investigation check.
Investigation. Okay.
You don't find anything.
Can I try again?
You can.
Can I help?
Yep. So you can roll that one with an advantage.
There we go.
There we go. Yes, you do find a secret door. However, the means of opening it is not apparent.
This item requires a key.
But there's a statue right there, right?
Casting our eyes about, can we see any obvious sign as to like, somewhere where the dust has been disturbed or what, like where footprints have been through here? Perhaps Yaereene could use survival to try and track the traces of previous people having been through here.
Sure, you can give me a survival check, Yaereene.
I'd like to
Roll at
invest.
advantage.
She doesn't need advantage.
I'll take it in case I can roll higher than that.
Yeah.
Not to roll like that, yeah. Yaereene, the floor is the exact opposite of the bookshelves. There is no dust to be seen on this floor. There are no tracks of any kind, so you don't get a sense of where anybody would have walked through here.
Is there dust on the rest of the floor of the library or just the books?
The dust is only on the books and the shelves and like the chairs and the statue.
I'm searching the statue for any signs of like a mechanism.
Okay, that'll be an investigation roll.
Already done.
You do find that there is a staff in the wizard's hand, and there are disturbances in the dust on its staff.
Okay, I start manipulating the staff.
Yeah, you find the way to open the door, and the stone slides to the side, giving you access to a secret room. And now we're going to go back to the eating group.
All right.
So you guys enjoy as much of your breakfast, of the salad and bread as you want, and the kitchen helper comes back out again, this time with arms laden with plates full of eggs and bacon. The smell is quite delicious, and for some reason pressing my keys to move is not working, so I'm just going to drag the person over there. And she loads out these plates, takes away the earlier plates with the bread and salad, and gives you this food.
I grab a couple of the bread rolls.
Okay. She gives you a smile and says, "Well, I'm glad the food is to your liking, my lord."
Everything is a sandwich, my dear. You need bread for a sandwich.
Well, that's very true. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your breakfast. I'm sure the king will be along shortly to meet with you.
I give her a winning
Um,
smile.
Did Grun only grab wine when he did the thing?
Yes, that's all that was in there.
I was gonna say, unless there was something else to grab, then yes.
Okay. Do you have any water available?
I'm sorry, my lady. I don't. All that I was provided in the kitchen this morning was bottles of wine, because you are such important guests.
Grun will pull out his water skin. It's like, it's not fresh or anything, but I mean, you can have this.
That'll work. Thank you.
Much apologies,
I nod and wink at Yaereene.
Yareen's not there.
Ysmyr, you mean.
I keep doing that. Ysmyr, yes.
The two names that start with Y are so confusing. All right.
And
So
Ysmyr will use the water. And then she's just going to look at the others once the woman's gone. And it's just like, that's still weird, right?
Yeah, it is. Why would they be feeding us before meeting with the king? That doesn't really make a ton of sense. I mean, the king's busy. We would just go be seen by the king, and they'd kick us out as when they needed to. I don't quite understand why they're feeding us.
It could be an odd form of manners in this society, but honestly, I don't recall anything like this from having lived down here and being in the university. Now, mind you, I didn't rub elbows with too many aristocrats in their place, so it does seem queer to me. Did anybody taste something a little off in their meal? I mean, the bread seemed okay.
I didn't notice anything.
Not yet.
With those kind of rolls we had, would we have picked up on that there was something in, but it
Nope.
didn't affect us? Okay,
Nope.
cool.
Nothing suspicious about it.
So yeah, Grun will continue to eat. I mean, because like I said, we've detected no poisons or diseases. We were fine when we ate the first bit, so he'll keep trying to eat. He doesn't want to be rude.
Yeah, I make myself egg and bacon sandwiches and chomp down.
And Grun, if you wanted to concentrate on that detect poison and disease, it would still be up at this point. It's been within 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Yes, and he would have kept it up for the full duration. So yeah, are we detecting any poisons or diseases in this new batch?
Nope.
Then yeah, he'd continue to eat. He's suffered no ill effects. There's nothing detectable, so there's no reason not to really. Like, he's suspicious of it, but
I think the wine would be detected as poison, but I think all alcohol would be detected as poison.
okay. But then Grun will actively avoid the wine, because if he can't be 100% sure, then he is going to avoid drinking the wine, and he'll share the water with Ysmyr. But anything that does not detect as poison, he'll consume.
Okay. So you guys have
And
your breakfast.
he will indicate that to the party as well, by the by, that like the wine does come up as poison. All alcohol kind of does, but just so you're aware, that's the only thing so far that's detecting as poisonous.
Okay, and Ysmyr's still sticking to mostly nibbling right now.
Okay. And I get another round of charisma saving throws from everybody.
I'm going to use my DM inspiration.
Okay.
Did Rhodes have inspiration?
I'm sure everybody does.
I guess we can assume he'll try it.
Okay.
I don't know where else he'll use it, so.
All right. And so you all have a breakfast of eggs and bacon, and all feel quite satisfied with the food that you've had. And as you finish up your breakfast, the major domo returns and says, "Well, now that we have allowed you to break bread, fill yourselves in our hospitality, I am ready to take you to meet the king."
Thank you. We greatly appreciate their hospitality, and We are excited to meet His Majesty.
Oh, I thought His Majesty would be joining us in the feast, but whatever.
No, I'm sorry. His Majesty prefers to eat alone these days.
I see.
And with that, the major domo starts to head out, and we're going to head back to the Heist Group. All right, Heist Group, you've gone through a secret door in the library, and you see a staircase that heads down.
Guess what we'll do? We'll see if Skippy will check for traps on it, and then we'll go down.
Okay.
Or rather, Ander.
You don't see any traps.
All right, I head down the stairs.
Does it look like the stairs have been traveled?
Yes.
Excellent.
It's clear that whatever they were doing to mask the footprints outside, they didn't bother doing once you get to the staircase.
Oh, before I go down, I'm gonna shut the door behind us.
Okay. So Skippy's going first.
Actually, one other thing that I'd like to do right now is cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay. So what's your order going downstairs? Is Skippy?
I'll bring up the rear.
Okay.
I'll go down the point.
Just going to see. Yeah. Are you guys just walking down the stairs normally? I would assume not, but figure I should have.
No, let's go quietly.
Okay. I got some stealth rolls, please.
Absolutely.
I have slipped on my Cloak of Elvenkind back on again.
Okay. Oh, and Tempus is away, but he's wearing a cloak of Elvenkind as well. So I will roll his stealth check.
I'm here. Can you not hear me?
We can
Oh.
now.
Oh, there you are.
If you were talking prior to that, we did not.
Mostly funny jokes and trying to sabotage the party. So alas, it's all gone now. Yeah, I'll make a roll.
Okay.
I can see everything in this room. Is there walls here?
Did I forget to put walls?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
It's all right. We'll pretend we don't.
I know nothing. I know nothing. Put walls. We'll take a 5-minute break.
I did this a while ago too. I thought I'd done everything that needed to be done. And my computer is being so bloody slow.
Oh, it's not your computer. It's Forge. It's
Yeah, it's being slow.
yeah. It does this on Fridays.
Oh, I see.
So everybody's doing games, right?
Gotcha.
Or it's not Fridays, like Sunday nights, Saturday nights, Friday
Weekends.
nights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just want to say, look at the big stealth rules on us, because with a +10 from Pass Without a Trace, 37 for Yaereene, 29 for Anders, 28 for Tempus. We are sneaky.
That was some of the goal.
All right. Well, that'll do for now. I'll keep putting walls in while you guys are doing your thing. But as you make your way down very, very stealthily, you see a couple of short, small figures sitting at a table, and they're both engrossed in a book that they're reading together.
Short figures.
Short hooded figures, so you can't really make out much detail.
I mean, they haven't seen us yet, so that initiative roll might be a little bit impromptu.
How else is this ever gonna really we want to look at that book? They're not just gonna hand it to us, so we pretty much have to take it. And I bet you dimes to donuts that basically this is like the lair of whatever is controlling the king.
Okay, so how about this? Like the way I imagine it is Skippy's kind of like peering over the banister and is like got his crossbow out and he turns it sideways for a kill shot, at which point Tempest taps him on the shoulder, points at the vial of poison on his belt, points at the further one away, and then shows Anders a great big like a big kosh in his other hand, and he's gonna point at the one closest nearby, and he's going to give you sort of a shh kind of motion with his hand, just finger to his lips. And then Tempest is going to try to sneak up behind the one that's closer to them.
Ryan, are they talking?
They are.
Pardon me?
They are.
Can we understand what they're saying?
You can give me a perception roll to listen in.
Oh God.
So after Tempus does all this and is like indicating that he's about to go, then Yaereene grabs him and shushes him and tries to listen in a bit.
Just a little, yep.
Do you understand Halfling?
No.
I do.
You do not understand what they're saying, and Skippy cannot hear what they were saying, so
Oh,
can't help out with
can I
that.
use my inspiration?
You don't have inspiration. Actually, you would have got DM inspiration
I
from.
thought you said everybody had it just a few minutes ago.
Yeah. You would have it back
Okay.
because of that little short session that we did. There was going to be a little putting in there.
Okay.
Um,
So I can use it?
Technically, you're supposed to call if you're going to use it beforehand, but
I know, but sometimes people are allowed to use it afterwards, so.
you can use it afterwards.
Okay. All right. Perception. Oh, balls.
Roll even worse. Yeah, you don't hear it.
Skippy,
You
I
can
feel your pain.
Okay,
Okay.
then Yaereene is going to count people down. She's going to nod for the previous plan, and she's going to count people down after 1 second. So if I'm there, can I see them?
Yep.
Okay. Right before she tells them to go, she's going to cast silence in the center of the table.
Ah, nice.
Okay. What's the
Range, or the sphere, the size.
A 20-foot radius centered on the point that I choose within range.
and you're doing that on the center of the table.
Sure am.
Okay. So they're chattering away, and that spell has a verbal component. They hear your voice, turn, and then everything goes silent. in
I'm
that
really quiet though when I say it. So
area.
do they need to make a perception check to hear me?
I guess.
Well, since I did to hear them, that seems fair.
I guess.
I do hear you. And they look at you, and suddenly one of them points and says something, but nothing is heard. And I recognize what's going on here. But I will throw up the initiative tracker.
Oh, man. Or should I use that other one I rolled? That's fine, I can see it.
All right, Tempus.
Well, I mean, now that they're aware of our presence, my little sleepy time cosh is of no use. So
Sorry about that. I was trying to help.
shit happens. Instead, I will draw my halberd. I will position myself right in between the two of them, and the one at the south end of the table is getting a bonk.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna rage, and I'll give them 2 reckless attacks.
15 hits and a 20 hits. So that's 24 damage.
That's my turn.
Okay. All right, Yaereene.
She only sees the one doorway. She's getting in front of it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. Oh, but she's going to have to kill them afterwards because you can't go around killing the king's guards. She's going to shoot the same one Tempus attacked.
Okay.
Whoops, I hit the wrong thing.
An 18 hits and 15 damage.
No, oh yeah, 15 because I forgot he's
injured, yeah.
Yeah. I'll shoot again.
Okay. And he drops.
He takes 5 less damage. He does not take the class of Slayer the second time.
Right. Doesn't matter. He only had 1 hit point left.
Okay, then he drops.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
She's going to glare at the other one and motion that he should sit back down.
Okay. This figure looks at the two of you who have stormed in and just attacked them, and he just drops to his knees and makes a pleading gesture to Tempus, silently begging for his life.
Assuming that we're good to drop out of initiative, I'll just dome him with a caution until he's unconscious then.
Okay. It is Skippy's turn first.
Sorry.
So, Skippy, are you doing anything?
I'm going to run down the stairs over to the last guy, and I'm going to hit him about the head with the butt of my +2 rapier.
Okay. So you're doing non-lethal damage then if you do drop him to 0?
That's right. and
Okay.
because he is has one of my allies within 5 feet of him, I also get my sneak attack down.
You sure do.
So I will do my attack in 2 seconds. Where it is. Oh, poor guy.
I'm not going to be invited back here, am I?
I don't think any of us will.
Oh, I'll be surprised if we get out of this city.
Well, Group 1 tends to have a lot of trouble leaving cities.
It's true.
Not
This
quite
is-
for this reason.
Group 2 gets chased out of cities, but not because of what they did.
Well, we're combining both of our methods of madness.
I'm just
Beautiful.
imagining. I'm just imagining Tempus sputtering at the end of this when the silence spell is gone and saying to Yaereene, like, but I got this means to like knock them out like non-lethally, and then Yareen's just gonna look at Tempus and whisper, "No one will ever believe you."
That's true.
All right. So that happened, and we're gonna go back to
Right.
the other group.
Prior to that, Ryan, I am going to go over and can I stabilize this person so they don't die?
Well, the one was just knocked out. The other one is dead.
Dead, dead, dead?
Dead.
Ah, crap! That's
Well,
really
that's what
bad.
happens when you fill them full of arrows.
You know, I can heal people. I bring them back from that. Oh, that's very bad. She's very not happy. She did not anticipate that.
Yeah.
You guys should not let her go on any missions.
So the major domo brings the diplomacy group up the grand staircase. Maybe.
I'm making small chat with him.
Okay. What kind of things would you like to chat with the major domo about?
Just how much we enjoyed the meal and how nice it is to be in here and how much we appreciate the king. Wanting to hear from us directly our adventures and what we've done to save the city. Save his city.
Now, Ysmyr, we had a discussion prior to this session about your alignment. I'd like to take this moment to ask you how you feel about Ysmyr's alignment at this point, whether there are discussions about your general following the rules and
Yeah.
being in a position has swayed you to change your alignment, or if you are maintaining what she's always been as neutral good.
I think there were good points made where it's like, yes, sometimes she has to look the other way, but overall her main goal is for the greater good and trying to follow rules as we go. So I like with that in mind, I think it works.
Okay.
She's kind of lost more of the self-interest and gone more of the trying to guide and help people way.
Right. And in so doing has been learning about rules and laws and all those sorts of things, especially with the training that you were having with governance and stuff. Like all the pieces fall in place that I would say that it would make sense that she has shifted to lawful good.
Yeah, it doesn't mean she's like the cliche ha ha ha, like don't do anything bad in my presence. Just she's more inclined to follow law first and all that stuff.
Right. So as you approach the door, the major domo says, "I've been informed that the Duke has informed you of the complications of most people standing in the presence of the king. You may wish to avert your eyes as I open the door." And
KCR looks down a little bit and puts his hand up to his brow, covering his eyes.
Grun will squint a little, but he's gonna kind of look towards the door still.
Okay.
Yeah, similar idea, kind of like that when you look partway down briefly, because Ysmyr has no reason to think she can look right now. So
the door opens. And I'm just going to draw something in here. So that's the general cone template for 80 feet from the point of origin of the light. So nobody is standing in that zone at this point. But as the door opens and the major domo stands aside to allow you free access, you can see a man sitting on a shining throne at the far end of the room. There is a brilliant light that is cast from the back of the throne itself over the room in front of him, and it gleams with the brightness of the sun. And you can see that on either side of the carpet, there are 3 guards standing at attention.
Grun
As
will,
we go in.
Grun will take that first step in and go like, okay, guys, let's do this, and step into that light before the rest of the party to see what happens.
And as you enter the light, you take 6 radiant damage and have disadvantage on skill checks while you're in the light.
Oh boy. Okay. Do I just I take the damage like, oh, ow, the heck was that?
Kichara walks in. Kichara, you take 7 points of radiant damage and have disadvantage on all rolls.
Even with chaotic good?
Ouch.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. And once they're past the door, Ysmyr and Rhodes will enter.
Okay. Ysmyr, you suffer no ill effect. You do get advantage on skill checks while in the light.
Phew. And I feel like when she steps in and doesn't feel anything, that's when she kind of like has a moment and actually does look up.
And Rhodes takes 8 points of radiant damage and has disadvantage on all rolls.
Are all of you okay? I didn't notice anything.
I got a pain. I felt this energy before. It was the energy my god used to channel, and it struck me when I came into the light. I don't know. I feel a little odd.
I didn't expect anything to hurt me, and yet I got a wee bit of a backhand across the face, if you know what I mean. At this time, I don't know as a character that I'm screwed on my rolls.
You can sense that everything feels awful right now in this light.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, just wanted to check because I feel fine.
Okay, so you do the quick check-in. Grun, you're going to take 6 radiant damage, and Rhodes and KTR will take 3 each.
Can I tell it's still hurting them?
Oh yeah, you can, like, it would be impossible for them to hide the fact that they're wincing at the pain from the light.
Yeesh.
Grun is gonna get a little mad about this. Not yet, like full rage, but he's getting a little angry at this.
Your Majesty, is there a reason why you need to keep hurting us in your presence with this light?
The king looks at you and smiles and says, "Are you saying you are unworthy to stand in my presence?
No.
I do nothing to hurt you."
Okay, guys, let's get up there. Let's talk. And then if you need to step out, you can step out. I'm fine.
Yes, let's go talk to this king.
Give yourself a bardic inspiration from me, Ysmyr, and it's a D10.
Ooh,
Grun take another 5 radiant damage, and Rhodes and HR will take an additional 7.
I think with that, once everyone approaches, Ysmyr will step up and bow.
Yep. And I am going to also cast a Beacon of Hope. I'm just going to wait for a bit before I start using it.
Okay.
I mean, casting healing spells that take advantage of it.
Yeah. Okay. So Ysmyr walks up and bows before the king.
Gris zapped a few times.
Where are you casting your beacon? This is a 30-foot range.
On me.
Use any number of creatures within range. So you would have done that before they moved away, right?
Yeah, and I'm moving up to follow. I was
Oh.
just busy doing other stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, then you'll be in range when you cast that. And everybody has advantage on wisdom saving throws and death saving throws and regains max hit points from heal.
Yeah, so if things are cast, you get your max, and you got flat rolls if you're me or Rhodes, I believe. Or did Grun get everything as well?
No, I'm just skill checks.
Okay.
Okay, and so you've all approached the throne, and Grun, you take another 2 radiant damage. Rhodes and KTR will take an additional 9.
Oof, okay. Yeah, so Ysmyr will bow, step up, and so greetings, my lord. Thank you for being willing to have an audience with us. I understand some of us might not be able to stay long, but if you have any questions, we will do our best to answer them before anyone needs to leave.
Very well. Thank you for attending me this morning. Though it is dark out there, as you can see, the light continues to shine brightly here. There is no fear of the undead in my presence. Grun will take another 2 damage. Katiara and Rhodes will take another 7.
And that is a great thing. As king, I'm sure that's something you will plan on using to protect your people quite well.
At that, you can see that his bravado falters a bit, and he slumps in his throne and says, "Alas, what can I do? Bring my throne to the front lines? Ask the undead to walk within 80 feet of it? Politely line up? And the throne does little to help in our greater struggles."
Well, then maybe turn it off so we can comfortably discuss how we can help you with these greater struggles, given that we've been doing this for quite some time.
Grun, you're going to take another 3 damage. Rhodes and KTR will take another 7.
God damn it.
Is there a...
Grun reaches out and casts Cure Wounds on Kitiara, seeing how... Oh, sorry, right. Is it Kitiara that's really... Yeah, Kitiara, now seeing that you're, like, hurt.
And it,
Yeah, I was at 34 before you cast.
Okay, so you gain 12 because of Beacon Folk.
Well, you have a group of people here willing to help you find ways to work against the undead. I would ask, since it is difficult to have a full discussion if everyone's getting stung, can we go speak somewhere where they will not be hurt anymore?
give me a persuasion roll at advantage. Okay. The king looks at you and is swayed by your compassion for your friends and says, "They may step out of the light and stay in this chamber. We will continue our discussions."
Okay, so stepping out of the light is there. Okay.
Yeah, you actually have to get out of the light, the cone that I drew. The cone was more to show where 80 feet was. And as soon as you leave the presence of the light, you feel normal again. So, you come before me with the answer to my problems. Is that what I am to understand?
We come before you with answers to what has been happening, if you don't have them already. Talk of some solutions we have helped bring up already. And hopefully we can discuss further ways to fight the dark. But
Yeah.
the idea is to all work together.
The undead are numerous beyond my greatest imaginings. They have roamed the countryside unchecked for months, turning every living thing against us. Their numbers swell so far beyond our own. have no idea what I can possibly do to stop them at this point, and I don't know why they don't just overrun the city.
Well, we do know that Lucius, the lich in charge of these undead, seeks to revive his former master Glothor. We've heard that the library here is extensive, and there were books that he sought with the means to revive his master. Perhaps he does not wish to risk them being destroyed, and so seeks to run you out with a war of attrition.
If that is his plan, he is succeeding. Our stores have grown dangerously low. We lack food. People are rationing what they have. Even my own stores have been strained of late. Long gone are the elaborate feasts. I'm sure you saw the meager offerings that I provided you this morning were the best that I could manage under these circumstances. And I do apologize that I did not give you a greater host's meal.
Your Majesty, saving food for your people and to stretch it out for yourselves is far more worthy thing than feeding us some elaborate meal. We are here to aid your city to defeat these undead and attempt to return some normalcy to this world. The food that you provided us was hot, fresh, and filled with hospitality. We could ask no more. We only now ask that you listen to us while we provide you what we know and provide you with what we have done, and perhaps together we can find some means which we have overlooked previously, with which we can turn this tide against the undead.
We have suffered much and traveled and fought, but we have also learned, and we wish to share these learnings with you and hopefully build upon them with what you have available inside this city. Only that way can we all manage to succeed and turn and defeat the undead hosts that threaten to overwhelm the world and make it a graveyard.
I appreciate you approaching me with any knowledge that you have. You appear to be able adventurers. From what I gather, speaking with the Duke, you are noble sorts, even if you cannot stand in the light. This world is not meant to be broken into those who are stalwart defenders of righteousness. It is meant for all of us. I will hear your stories. Please, regale me with them now. And you don't actually have to go into all the details. We already know what you guys have been through. But that's basically your opening to talk as long as you need to.
And we will talk. We will turn it to Kitiera first to talk about like what they've brought for the city, the supplies and things like that, because that's more an immediacy. And then once they've told their tales, then I think the Grun will share the group 2 tales, and then we'll proceed from there.
I have actually, part of the chatting and everything was to come up with a epic lay of our adventures and try and give it as much catchy hooks and good music and make it enough information, but feeding it out teasingly that I'm trying to always give cliffhangers. Now, with me out of there, am I just a normal role?
Yes. You can give me a performance check.
Okay, not the best.
18 is still pretty good, though. You don't falter or anything during the speech. You keep him quite captivated during everything.
I will just pitch in and say Ysmyr will give an overview of how the undead are, we'll let him know the undead are to the north as well and likely going to head south, but there are more people coming who can help with defense and numbers. And I know Kitiera probably covers it, but I want to make sure that we make clear what we learned about how this is also because a lot of like the gods clashing and stuff, and things have just gotten overrun, and that it's following the younger gods that will help, is more helpful than anything. And like there will also be the mention of like, and happen to know like your son is on his way back, that kind of thing.
He would want to know how you would know something like that.
Met him briefly and was scrying to check in on people we knew of importance.
When you mention scrying, he sits back and you note that he grows pale and says, "You have the magic to scry people."
Okay, insight.
Can I?
No,
Yeah, I was
why
gonna say, can I
specifically?
insight when he says that?
You can.
I would like to as well because, ooh,
You'll have advantage on your insight roll, Ysmyr.
oh yeah, doesn't help.
So I'm the highest?
Skippy, you're not rolling.
I thought I could sneak one in.
Board?
You find it impossible to read what he means by that, but you do note that there was a change in his demeanor. But he basically just asked you. You have the ability to scry on people.
Yes, a very basic one, but mostly just
And do
reading.
you have the ability to read someone's mind while scrying them?
Hold on, I don't think that that's how it works.
Okay. I'll give you a moment to look that up. I'm going to switch over to the
Oh
other.
yeah, I can say no. No, I
Okay.
don't. Simply see in a space or here, but not both.
Could you speak into my mind if you were to scry me?
No, that would take a much greater power than I have.
I mean, I
I've
could.
been targeted by things that can lash out through it, but that was a extremely powerful being.
Your Majesty, I mean, I can do a simple message to talk to you mind to mind, but it's nothing about reading or going deeper. It's just letting me talk to you.
I see. And yeah, you get the sense that he was unsettled, but is calmed by the fact that you can't do what he spoke of. Now we're going to switch over to the heist group.
Shady.
Oh, yeah.
So, Yaereene, Ander, and Tempus, you are in the basement with an unconscious person and a dead person. What would you like to do?
Oh.
I would like to look at the book real quick. I slide it over and look at the title.
Okay, it is written in Halfling, and it is a book on the Fae.
And then I put it back to the page that it was on. And what are they reading about?
The book talks about the general rules of the Feywild that everybody's already familiar with from your general interactions with the Fey, and speaks of the page that they have it on speaks of a powerful figure that has interfered in mortal goings on before, and it goes by many names, but the one that they know is the one that pops out, especially for Yaereene, is Lysanthier Orduna.
Oh.
Dad?
You're not there.
Anybody communicating this to us? Skippy?
Oh yeah,
Yaereene?
yeah,
I
yeah.
will.
Skippy.
I'll
is-
point out Ysmyr did tell you guys her last name.
Yaereene will be sharing this, but we may need to go back up the stairs because the silence is going to be here a while.
Oh, you can drop the silence if you want. It's a
Nope, I
concentration.
don't want to.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well then I'm not sharing anything. But now I'm making my way to this other door
Okay.
and I'm checking it for traps.
All right. Give me an investigation check.
I look over my shoulder first and see if anybody wants to help me.
I do.
You don't see any traps.
Is it locked?
I don't think so. Nope.
You can try it. It's silent.
Then I open it and I'm being silent.
Yeah, you're in the globe of silence. What you see inside the room is a man who has been stripped of all of his clothing, all of his worldly goods, and clearly tortured. There are lines of blood over his hunched form. And even though you have been completely silent, he still looks up at you and smiles. Tempus, you recognize your dear old dad, even when he's in really rough shape.
Was it a friendly or a not friendly smile?
Oh, that'll take an insight check.
I would like to try this as well.
He seems to be offering a friendly, knowing smile.
And
We shut the
Tempest
door.
closes the door and just indicates that we can move on.
Yaerene's pretty torn. Tortured people, trapped, not so good.
I'm gonna look in confusion between Yaereene and Tempest because I don't recognize him.
Yaereene will grab Tempus's hand.
Nothing to see here. Moving along is Tempest's sign language, just kind of pushing you guys down the corridor if you'll allow it.
No, Yaerene's going to grab his hand and drag him into the room past the edge of the silence spell.
Wait, you're trying to drag me into the room, forcing the door open and dragging me as we go?
If it forcing being a not literal sense, but Yaereene is going to try and sway him into coming into the room with her. She's not going to try and physically drag him because that's stupid.
Physically, he is going to resist your attempts to move into the room, so be persuasive. How are you going to persuade him in silence?
With body language and eyes.
Ah,
You said she was getting good at seduction. She's trying.
Tempest rolls a will save against puppy eyes.
Ooh, that's a disadvantaged roll.
No, he just kind of glares at you and just kind of gestures like, what are like, you know what's in there, hand across throat. No.
She looks very disappointed at him and steps into.
I also will look disappointed at him and step into the room.
Neither of you are stepping into the room. He is bodily barring the door and refusing to let anybody past, just shaking his head and gesturing at you like an angry Italian man.
Okay, Yaereene will shrug and we'll move on.
And the minute they start moving on, Tempest swings open the door, steps inside, and props his halberd against the other edge.
What? She was trying to get him to move away so she could sneak inside.
Nope, locking you guys out.
Well, somebody clearly has daddy issues.
Yes, he does.
All right, Tempest. In here, you see on the floor outside of this circle of blood on the floor that surrounds Lysanthier, at your feet, you see 3 pieces of a shattered sword.
Does he recognize the sword?
Yeah, is it Ysmyr's old sword?
It sure is.
So if Tempest claps his hands a little bit, can he hear it?
I believe so. Yeah, because that you're out just outside of the 20-foot radius.
You've lived this before many, many times, haven't you? Seen every single different iteration of how this can go, lived it in your moment, judged it, made your different decisions, and just you know exactly what's about to happen, don't you?
Yes.
Are you going to beg for your life? Are you going to snidely try to convince me I shouldn't wrest the very life from your twisted little neck?
No,
What happened to Ysmyr's sword?
it's been broken.
By who, smartass?
The ones you handled bodily.
Tempus is going to blink, and then he's going to cock his head, and he's going to say, you let a pixie break that sword that we spent all that time to deliver to you?
Yes.
Can I roll an insight on that?
Eh.
Womp womp.
Yeah, you can't read this guy at all.
What do you want, Lysanthier?
I want you to take the shattered sword to the rightful queen.
Why should I?
You are fond of calling her the queen. This is her proof at your feet.
Why did you do it? Why did you bring us into this world only to abandon us, use us and discard us again? Why did you take this weapon away from Ysmyr if it was going to end up here anyway? You knew all this. Was it all worth it?
It will be.
And what will you give me in exchange for carrying out this task, Lysanthia or Duna?
I will give you the peace of mind that you are doing everything you can to restore balance to this world and stop the undead threat.
That's not good enough.
He shrugs.
I would have your oath. Should Yaereene and I ever be blessed with children, should they ever be born into this world or any other world beyond, you will leave them alone. You will not seek to influence them, even to defend them from what you might see as a harm. You will stay out of their lives. You will be nothing more than a ghost, a bad story we tell to frighten naughty children. And the same will go for any children of Ysmyr's or Katiara's. Once I do this for you, our time with you is done. Swear it to me by your true name, Faye.
As you speak to him, he stands shakily and takes a step forward closer to you. And when he smiles at you, you can see blood on his teeth. And he says, "It hardly matters, but I swear it to you."
Anything else in the room besides the sword pieces?
Nope.
Tempus gonna pick up the sword pieces, eyes on Lysanthia the entire time.
Okay. He drops back down to his knees as you pick up the sword pieces.
I did tell you that the next time I saw you, I'd kill you.
Then do it, please.
And Tempus is gonna lean in close, like right to the periphery of the circle, and he's gonna say, "No, because only saying things that are true, never breaking your oath, that's the act of a fairy creature. I choose my own nature, old man. I can grow, I can change. Stay here and rot." And Tempus is going to unblock the door, is going to walk out to join the rest of the party.
As you leave, you hear him say, "Very well, Oathbreaker."
While they're having that diatribe, I'd like to kind of like work my way through here.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do investigation on this door.
Okay. You don't find any traps, and it doesn't appear to be locked.
Oh, what do I spy here?
Inside this room, you see glowing on a table in front of you and a burbling pot to the side, some potions that are being brewed. You see boxes, there's a crystal ball on one of them, and an open book on another, and a couple of chests on the far side of the room.
And what's the book about? Or what? I look at the book first.
Sure. The book is basically a potions book with recipes for various potions.
All right, I'm going to put that in my backpack,
Okay.
and then I'm moving over to the first over to here, and I'm going to pull out my wand of secrets and use it again.
Okay. So that was 30 feet, right? Oops, I forgot to actually draw in the secret doors when I put the walls down. I was in a rush. Door. I'm gonna have to shift these walls around a bit. All right. So you see a couple of the wand points between two different doors.
So, okay, I will go to the north door, and I will run and do an investigation on the door.
Okay.
Whenever any of the others catch up, they'll let me know.
Yeah, Tempus was talking to Lysanther for a while,
Oh.
so
And Yaereene has slipped in the room after he's left.
Okay, so there's definitely a trap on this one.
you're pretty sure this one's trapped. And at this point, Tempus is in the room with you after you've done that investigation.
Okay.
You and very quickly going back to Yaereene, you're in the room with Lysanther, who has fallen to the floor and is just laying there.
And she's going to ask, "Why are you here?"
Because I had to be.
Why?
This is what I do to save your world.
And what have you done?
Everything I've needed to.
She's really not quite sure how to proceed, and talking is not her forte.
He looks at you and says in a pleading voice, "Will you do what your Oathbreaker partner could not.
She's not clear on that.
Kill me
Why?
because I asked you to.
Would need to talk to my partner first.
He will tell you to let me rot here for all eternity if I must. He
Doesn't-
already said it.
Doesn't change the fact I would need to talk to him.
If you must.
And I would need more reason than you've given me.
Yaereene, Dowreth, I have done everything I can over hundreds of years to put all of the pieces exactly where they need to be. I have seen my life's work come to fruition, and I am happy. For the first time in my life, I am happy. And if I died happy, what more could anyone ask for?
She is pretty overwhelmed. Does not know how to respond to that. And slowly backs into the room saying she'll talk to Tempus.
So the way I imagine this all going is like after Tempest like basically faked her out and went into the room and blocked it. Then when he comes out, she does the exact same thing to him where she's waiting on the other side of the door, slips in, and he's like, "Hey, what? No, that's my
Yep.
trick." And then she locks him out. So we've had a comedy of some sneaking here.
And by this point, the silent spell would be over.
Tempest crossing his arms and he's gonna glare at you pretty sternly and say, he was mine to deal with.
I think this is a lot bigger than just you. And she's glaring right back at him.
What kind of damage do I take from the trap?
Done.
Oh,
It wasn't trapped.
yeah. Okay, then I'll go into this room here.
Let's catch up with Skippy while we talk.
You see some low shelves in this room with 9 spell scrolls.
Okay, I grab one and open it up. What is it?
The first one that you open up is a gate spell.
Second one?
The second one would be a shape change spell.
I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. You've got astral projection, gate, meteor swarm, prismatic wall, shape change, time stop, weird. How many was that?
I don't know. I think the last one was wish, wasn't it?
No, weird.
Oh,
There's no wish scroll here.
time stop.
Nice try.
Do I know if Faywin has time stop?
You know she does not.
Okay. Well,
Because she rambles a lot about any time-related spell she's ever gotten her hands on.
we killed this guy. Like, I mean, like if we're gonna get away with this shit, we might as well just get away with it. I pick up the time one.
Time stop.
Yeah, throw it into my backpack, and then I'm gonna go down to this other door,
Okay.
and I'm gonna search it for traps.
You don't find any traps.
I open it.
Okay. In this room, you find just a strange space with 2 pillars that are made out of what appear to be humanoid bones.
I look back at Yaereene.
And I'm sorry, Mike was talking at that precise moment, so I missed the description. 2 pillars, and that's all I heard.
Made out of human bones
Ooh!
or humanoid bones. And I'm gonna make my way to in between the pillars. Is there a door or?
You can give me an investigation check.
Okay. Can I try again?
Yeah,
There you go.
you find a secret door.
Does this look like some sort of like underground fighting pit or what?
Inside, you find a raised stone platform, and in the middle is a fire pit made of, again, humanoid bones.
Okay, I'm gonna do some investigation on the pit to see if there's anything special about it.
And can I tell what kind of humanoid bones?
What kind of check would that be?
Oh yeah,
I
look at
got
that.
no clue.
Look at that. 29 for my investigation in the dais.
So you find a runic script around the fire pit, basically talking about balance between life and death, warmth and cold, and this particular fire pit appears dedicated to the Stormlord.
Do you share that info?
Oh yeah.
Do I feel any stronger sense of the Stormlord here? And maybe take him out. Maybe take Tempus out of this room.
You can give me a perception check, Yaereene. You don't feel any differently in this room than you normally do.
Okay. Did the fire just go out?
I think
Nope.
you just clicked off your token is probably what happened.
Okay. I'm like, that's alarming.
Yeah, that makes the light go away. So Skippy has informed us that the runes around this dais have something to do with the Stormlord then?
Yep.
And Yaereene will be actively trying to keep you away from it.
Um,
How badly do you want to manhandle and maul your girlfriend?
I mean, I-
She's putting everything she's got into it. You will have to hurt her.
What? No, this has gone from lighthearted to now it's serious. I mean, this entire time, Tempus and Yaereene have been arguing about Lysanther. We've been messaging back and forth furiously, so I think this has interrupted our discussion. Really, you're not going to let Tempus even look at the column?
Definitely not.
Really?
Yep.
Tempus is going to say, Yaereene, you know I have to keep doing my best.
Yep. And you know the cost for this one.
Tempus gonna try and pick Yaereene up in a fireman carry.
And she will try and wriggle out of it.
All right. That is an athletics check against an acrobatics check.
Okay, my athletics is gonna automatically roll at advantage. Ignore it. Just take the first dice, please.
And I'm going to use my DM inspiration.
Okay. Oh my god. All right. This has absolutely no problem just throwing
Wow.
Yaereene
2 in a row?
double ones. So,
Some things are just meant to be.
yeah.
So with Yaereene over his shoulder, Tempus is going to investigate the totem.
She's going to be kicking her legs trying to block your view? And wrapping her hands around your eyes if you've got her facing the other way? Whatever end you'd like to have there.
Yeah, he's gonna be ducking your legs, I guess. So just ignoring her as best as he can. Like you said that it was written in runic script. What's the
Should
language?
we be doing an initiative for this? Because she might be trying to knee him in the face as well.
First answer
Sure.
my question about it, and then you have your shot to
Oh,
knee
I don't know
in
if you get to
face.
see before that. You just picked me up. I don't know if we've got any more action than that.
Oh
That
boy.
puts us into combat.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Let's put you two in combat.
God, God.
Sorry, Skippy.
So we'll begin combat. And Yaereene, you can make an unarmed strike against Tempus. Tempus does a 13 hit.
It does. I'm not wearing armor, so that's my armor class.
Okay. And you're not raging at the moment, right?
No, sir.
Okay.
And I'm not actually trying to hurt him that much, but I am willing to injure him a little bit to keep him. My main focus is to try to stay in the way of him seeing anything.
Sure. Yeah, he'll definitely have disadvantage on any checks to see it, to get any information from this.
And I'm not using my Colossus Slayer on him because I'm not actually trying to
Right.
get him down to 0.
Okay. So Tempest takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Sorry.
Or,
Grumble
sorry,
grumble.
not sorry. Anything else on your turn?
Tell him to stop and we can just move on.
All right, Tempest. You just got hit by your girlfriend, and she's begging you to stop.
It's 1 damage. I do worse to that swatting mosquitoes on myself. Can I discern what language the runic writing is in?
What languages do you know?
Orcish, Common, and Elvish.
No, you don't know it.
I assume that's my action, so my
Yeah.
my next thing is going to be to try and interact with it. So that'll be another action. Has to wait for my turn. Tempus will say, Yaereene, if you let me have this, we can go rescue Lysanther. That's my turn.
All
Okay,
right, Skippy.
what am I
Uh,
looking at?
You have wandered off from the other two and opened up a door to a room where you see a strange shape on the floor drawn in red. You might assume it's blood. And you see three pillars of humanoid bones on next to the walls. And there's this sickly green light emanating throughout the room, writhing before you.
Okay, I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna do my action to move over here. Not my action, my movement, and
Yeah.
I will free action open the door without even checking it.
Okay.
And
And
what do I see out of the corner of my eye there?
there's a few things that you see here. Um, to your left or the right on the map, dang it, you see a large stone circle. It looks very similar to the one that uh, to other one that you saw in Valville. And you can see runes inscribed around the edges of it. There is a golden statue directly across from you, a figure kneeling in prayer. And you can just see to your right bright light shining, and you see golden lines etched in the floor. And that is going to be your turn.
Wait a minute, I still have an action, don't
Oh, okay. What's your action?
I? I can dash, right? So I'm gonna move into the room.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see the entire golden circle there.
Okay. 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 That's my turn.
So Yaereene, what are you going to do? How are you going to respond to Tempus?
The Stormlord is way more important than him, and she is going to continue not actively trying to hurt him, but actively trying to hinder anything he's trying to do with the pillar. So I guess she will be readying an action to try and interfere, willing to hurt him in the process. Like
Okay.
not with an arrow or anything like that, but unarmed strike.
A
Okay.
pillow, at least.
And are you going to say anything to him? And you're
She is going to say Stormlord is way more important. So no deal.
All right. Tempus, what would you like to do?
Tempest is going to use his action to interact with the pillar, putting my hands on it, touching it. Can I feel
Oh,
it?
she will try and prevent that.
Get a sense of it or anything?
Okay. Yaereene, you can give me an unarmed strike.
Sorry about this, Tempest.
Tempest takes another point of damage. And Tempest, you can give me an investigation roll at disadvantage.
Flat 11.
So as you're looking around this fire pit, you're getting a better look at the bones, and they do appear to be from different humanoid species. You're not sure exactly which ones, but they're different sizes and slightly different shapes. And you're poking around at it and taking a look, and that's what you figured out this round. Anything else?
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. Can I, as a free action, cast inward and say, all right there, Big D, you getting all this? Or am I just having fun at this point?
You get a response. I see what you see.
But can you understand it? Can you make use of it?
I cannot.
All right, I guess we're committing to another round of this nonsense then. That's my turn.
All right, Skippy, what would you like to do in that room with your turn?
All right. Okay, so the circle is a teleportation circle.
It looks like it. Yeah, it's not active at the moment. But
Can I
But it-
memorize the rune?
you could write them down.
Okay, I'll write them down. That's
Yeah.
probably my turn, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Might even take a couple of turns.
Okay, fine.
All right, Yaereene. He's manhandling this fire pit. What would you like to do?
Continuing trying to be as much trouble as possible, and possibly willing to use Colossus Slayer now.
Ooh. All right. Anything that you want to say to Tempus?
Just continue pleading with him to stop, because he knows it will wreck her if he gives
Okay.
away the Stormlord. And she is not trying to manipulate. She is genuinely frantic by this point in time.
Okay. So Tempest, you take another 5 points of damage from an unarmed strike.
I've noted it.
Okay. What would you like to do in response?
Tempest is just getting equally weary as she is frantic, and he's just going to say, I can't stop. I cannot stop. Stop it. Stop it, as he's wheeling around, trying to investigate the fire pit, trying to garner some sort of meaning from his surroundings.
Okay. Give me another disadvantaged investigation check.
Much worse this time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not able to glean any more information. She's really hitting you now. I mean, it's still unarmed strikes, but she's not pulling any punches as she's kicking and kneeing and scratching and punching and, just really laying into you.
That's my turn.
Okay. Yaereene? Any...
Just continuing to try and block all of his efforts.
Okay.
And that may mean another unarmed strike. I'm really sorry. If you just let her down, she might just try and shove you instead of actually trying to hit you, but you've got her pretty pinned up there.
So Tempest takes another 8 points of damage this time. Ouch. That Colossus Slayer does a lot of damage. Anything else?
Strictly speaking, you do have 2 attacks, don't you? Hit me twice. Do it.
Oh, good call. Well, except for I'm doing it as a reaction to trying to stop you. So as a delayed response, I don't think I actually do. I'm not just attacking you for the sake of attacking you. I'm trying to interfere with what you're doing.
So Tempest, what would you like to do?
I'd like Discord to work consistently. That's what I would like to do. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Searching the room doesn't seem to be having a lot of effect. So for this round, Tempest is actually going to stop and is going to say, if you let me search this dungeon effectively, I don't know, I'll marry ya.
She shakes her head really sadly and says sorry.
Okay, then in that case, Tempest is going to carry her to the chamber and is going to try and toss her out of the door and close it behind her.
She fell for that once. She's going to be clinging to him with all her might.
Well, then I guess it's opposing roll time, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes. You're way stronger than she is.
Athletics versus acrobatics.
And I'm just going to say, in this case, I think that my aspect of the beast might apply because it's advantage on things made to push, pull, lift, or break objects. I'd say this counts as a push, but up to Ryan.
Yep.
Damn, I was hopeful there when you rolled so low, but I forgot how much of a plus you had. But theoretically, he would be able to push me out, but not get the door closed and barred in that same turn, correct?
Yeah, he'd be able to close it.
He can throw it and close the door? Damn. Okay.
Yeah. And the door is closed, yeah.
Okay. But I still get to go again before he does.
True.
You for this?
All right, Skippy, you've managed to write down the teleportation runes around the circle. What would you like to do next?
Can I roll Arcana to figure out what the circle in the center is?
Or Arcana or Religion?
I'll do Arcana because I don't think I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you have no idea. You've never seen something like this before.
Okay. Do I still have an action? No.
No, that is your action.
Okay. Then go ahead.
All right, Yaereene, you've been tossed out of the room bodily, and the door slams shut. What would you like to do?
I am just double checking on something.
Okay.
Tempus, are you considering yourself a hostile creature at the moment?
No, I don't deserve that. Yeah, of course I am.
Well, I'm opening the door. And Ryan, do I have to go through that space or can I go to the diagonal side to get into the room? Her main goal is simply to get in at the moment.
Yeah, you can get in going diagonally.
Okay, thanks. She will move in and then she will attempt to prevent Tempus from searching.
Tempest, you're not taking attacks on Yaereene, right?
I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed that after he slammed the door in her face, like, She was able to open it and just walk past me, but hey, action economy in D&D, am I right? No, I'm not going to attack her. After he like throws her out, closes the door, and she then like comes bouncing right back, like he's just going to stand at the door looking kind of lost and upset. And just kind of, yeah, I'm not going to react and attack her. Is it still her turn?
No,
Did any of that come through?
nope.
Lol. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, he's not going to react and attack her when she bounds back in.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
He's trying to interfere with the search of the room. Tempus is going to stop and he's going to say, "What is it you want, Yaereene?"
Maybe you could go search the library again?
No.
Hmm.
What is it you want for the Stormlord?
I want the Stormlord safe and you free from Dowreth.
Dowreth could give you anything. Immortality, an eternity spent with me. He could burn everything out of me that isn't loving you and give me to you.
I wouldn't ever want you that way.
Then what do you want?
The
Dowreth
Storm-
will give it to you.
The Stormlord safe and you free from Dowreth.
Tempus gonna stand there thinking because Jesse the player has no idea what to do. That's my turn.
All right, Skippy, anything else that you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'd like to investigate this golden statue.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. I'll roll investigation.
Yeah.
13. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a larger than life human. It's entirely made of gold, and you see that there's different symbols and script written on it.
Is it something I can read?
Yep, it's written in the arcane language,
Okay.
and it's basically saying that this room is dedicated to Sharo and the light.
Okay, I'm leaving. And I'll shut the door behind me.
Okay.
And I'll go over here and shut this door. And then I'll probably end my turn there.
All right, Yaereene?
If Tempus is staying by the door, she will stay here and see if she can read anything on the pillar out of the corner of her eye.
Okay. Do you know the arcane language?
No, I sure do not.
No. So you can't make heads or tails of it.
Okay, then she'll mostly stand there.
All right, Tempus, any ideas? If you're talking, we're not hearing you.
How about now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I have no idea why it's so slow for everything. Tempest is going to say, "Well, it's just your lucky day, pretty lady, because we're doing a 2-for-1 deal." No, I got nothing. Okay, so it's a fire pit, right? Like, there's a fire burning inside of it?
Yes.
You're gonna burn her alive, you monster!
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no, no. Tempest's gonna rage and he's gonna dive into the fire.
Oh my god! Well, I will say, as per usual, I did not see that coming.
Yeah. So you dive into the fire, and the fire goes out.
What?
This is just a roller coaster.
Right?
For me too.
I guess my rage is gonna end and Tempest is gonna say, "Well, shit."
And at that point, Skippy, you're gonna come.
Righty. Yeah, I come running around the corner here. The wall. And so Tempest is playing in the
Sitting.
halls.
He's sitting in a fire pit that's no longer burning.
He's gonna stop, look at Tempest, look at Yaereene, shake his head, and then just keep going.
Excuse you. Tempest may not have anything to say about Yaereene exiting his threatened zone, but he is not letting Skippy just walk past him without saying anything. So you just shake your head and try to run past us. Is that about
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay. Not okay. Hold on a minute. Let me just make sure that I can do this. Yeah, so the minute he tries to leave my threatened zone, I'm going to make a sentinel unarmed strike against him.
Okay.
Okay.
Make it reckless so it's at advantage.
We are totally the group who gets along really well.
Yep.
A 19 will hit.
So I mean, I said my rage ended, but strictly yeah, no, my rage would be over because I didn't take damage or attack on my turn. So you only take 5 damage, and your movement is set to 0 in my range. And Tempus is going to growl at you. What did you find?
Well, he's gonna rush out and answer you on his turn.
Technically, it is still your turn because you were stopping your turn.
He's not gonna say anything and try to keep going, but I think he can't. So that's my turn.
So Yaereene,
I'm going
you
to try and pull him out of the fire
just
or the not fire, whatever. It seems like a bad spot to be.
Mhm.
She actually doesn't want him injured.
Could have fooled me.
Yeah, well,
All right. So you move Tempus out of the fire pit.
yeah. And check him for burns, which
You
I
don't
know
see-
is ironic given the last few seconds.
Yeah, you don't see any signs of burns from the fire pit.
But she has gone from actively interfering to being quite concerned about his well-being in this precise moment.
Yeah. Anything else?
And she's just checking, are you okay? Like that was crazy. And she's checking all up and down him and
All right, Tempus.
Grabbing Ander and like scooping him up like a toddler and just growling in his face. What did you find?
All right.
honey,
I-
this isn't a good way to make friends.
Opposed athletics versus acrobatics.
First roll, ignore the second one.
Damn it! Oh no, 12.
12 versus 22. All right. Ander manages to wriggle out of the grapple.
Seems kind of cheap, but second attack, I'm gonna do it again. I think you
Damn
got
it.
me again, because again, first
yeah.
dice.
10 versus 15. Skippy is not grappled.
Well, upon failing to successfully grab his slippery self, Tempus is just going to roar in frustration and take off further into the chambers looking for something else.
Okay.
So he's leaving my threatened zone.
Correct. Go right ahead, please.
Oh God.
Yes.
And
Just all the
and technically, you're still 5 feet, or you're still within 5. You're still have one of my allies adjacent to you.
I am technically both of your allies, I would just like to point out.
Correct. No, I'm pretty hostile in this moment. Give me some sneak attack damage. Feed the masochism machine, please.
And I have to roll 2d10 as well for damage.
What's the
Oh my
2d10?
goodness.
What's the 2d10?
I'm injecting him with venom from the dagger of venom.
You have to use an action to make that poisonous, though, right?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I don't think you have the venom active. But that's still 7 piercing and 14 sneak attack. So that's 21 damage.
Noted.
bet you I can run faster scared than you can mad.
Whose turn is it at this precise point in time?
I mean, that
Oh.
was strictly speaking my turn, his reaction, so it's Anders' turn again.
Well, we're okay.
All right, Skippy,
Okay.
what did you-
I'd like to aim with my crossbow.
Okay. That
Oh,
will that allows you to attack without disadvantage because he's outside of range.
Okay. It's outside of range? Oh, then I'll. Oh, damn it.
It's 45 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, a 13 hits.
13 hits.
Oh.
Not wearing armor. Talking all. Well, why would you get sneak attack damage, though?
I think it's just
I aim.
automatic sneak,
Because I
so-
aim. Oh, yeah.
but you don't have it.
Oh, yeah, I don't get sneak attack damage. Right.
So it's just the 11.
Yeah.
Just 11. And that uses up all of Skippy's stuff. All right, Yaereene. Tempus is running deeper.
She's gonna glare at Skippy and say, "Quit that," and then race after Tempus. Okay, I just need to measure my movement here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I cannot reach him and heal him in the same turn because she would. But she can just move to there.
Okay. Anything else?
She is trying to provide cover for Tempus currently.
Okay.
That should produce a pretty good distraction. Good job, Yaereene.
Oh God.
All right, Tempus, it's your turn.
Moving into the chamber, what do I find?
You find a room with floors covered in bones, and you can see that the statue to the side here has been kind of moved around, and so you see two closed doors. One, oops, didn't mean to open it.
It's okay, I'll move up to that one and use my action to open it. What do I see inside?
Inside, you see three pillars created of humanoid bones, a symbol drawn on the floor in red blood, and this sickly green light emanating from the middle of the room.
Believe I've used 30 movement. I will take one more step to stand within the aura.
You step into the room in the aura, and you feel powerful. Like Tempest always feels strong, but right now you feel unstoppable. Like the power of the gods is flowing through you, and you could do anything. Not that you have any action economy left, but
Nope, but good to know for the next turn. And really sorry, diplomacy guys, this devolved differently than I thought it would.
Oh, please don't apologize. I am riveted.
Welcome to Chaos with Tempus.
I've never got to witness it like play out live before me. It's fantastic. I feel like I should be making popcorn.
This is kind of how it normally goes. It's kind of wild.
This is why we don't get anything done.
See,
Yeah.
it's kind of making sense.
All right, Ander, what would you like to do?
Well, I think, I tried, and I think I'll just kind of go to about there. Or can I get further with dash?
Well, that is with dash probably to get that far from where you
Okay.
were.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna keep going.
You're not going to take any actions in that room because you can dash as a bonus action.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I'll bonus action dash. I don't know. There.
Yaereene? Okay. Yaereene, what would you like to do?
She's going to move to there, see Tempest standing in some really crazy green light, and probably not like the look of that, and stay where she is.
All right. Going to say anything or any actions or anything?
She's going to ask if we can leave now.
Okay. Tempest?
Did he
Any-
heal in that light?
Yeah, any mechanical benefit to feeling really powerful?
You are regenerating 10 hit points at the start of your turn.
Stand right in the center of the aura, looking around the room. If nobody's coming in after me, maybe make a quick investigation roll.
Okay. Do it at advantage.
10.
Beyond the obvious, like this is clearly a room devoted to everything Dowreth. As you stand in the middle, you see that the three skulls closest to you from each pillar are smiling at you and laughing. And in this moment, you feel like you could get the answers from Yaereene any way you want.
As in, I feel some sort of magical.
You feel like you could do anything while you're standing in this room.
Tempus is going to hold out a hand and he's going to crook a finger at Yaereene and say, "Come here." And that's my turn.
Okay. I need to look up spell. Yaereene, can you give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
I'm assuming this is against being charmed,
Yeah,
so I have advantage on it.
right, because you're an elf.
Right.
We forgot about that during the vampire fight, but it'll work here. You managed to not fall under his sway.
And do I recognize that what he tried to do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely felt magical pullings at your mind.
Okie dokie.
God, if that's not a breakup move, I don't know what is.
All right, Andor, what are you doing?
I'm standing there for a second, looking back and looking forward and looking back and wondering if I should go and there's Yaereene back there, but she seems to have thrown her lot in with Tempus and I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Seems like something above my pay grade.
Fair enough.
But I kind of got them in there. I have to get them out. All right, I'll roll a dice. All right, Yaereene, I'm coming back to try to save you.
I love the petulance of it.
I don't know. I probably get to there-ish, right?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, there. I was back. There. Good.
All right, Yaereene. Tempus has tried to magically summon you into the scary green Dowreth room. What would you like to do?
Bolt.
Okay.
But I don't have grid squares here, so I'm kind of at a loss as to exactly how to figure out exactly what 60 movement looks like.
Oh, okay.
There's grid squares if you look closely.
So that's 30. Go 30 there. Can you see where I'm measuring
Yep,
up?
that's 30. Yep, perfect.
And then another 30 from there would get you about there.
Sounds good.
Anything else on your turn?
She's going to let Skippy know that Tempus has some crazy voodoo in a green glowing room, and it's quite terrifying. Don't go down there.
All right, Tempus. Despite the feelings of supreme power, apparently you can't just do anything you want. And Yaereene has run away.
Still got another 10 hit points back.
Yep.
Hooray. I mean, at seeing Yaereene turn around and run away fearfully, like, is it fair that maybe I could feel a little bit of doubt, or am I still pretty hopped up on feelings of omnipotence?
That's entirely up to you.
Okay, then I don't think it unreasonable for Tempus to, like, look down at his hand, horrified at what he did, and upon seeing Yaereene run away, he's gonna try and leave the room and go after her. Is he able to exit the room?
Yep.
And he's just gonna yell, Yaereene! I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Oh no. And that's my turn.
All right, Ander. You came back into the room and you saw Yaereene running in your direction.
I basically put on the brakes and I'm going to run, but I'm going to let her catch up to me. So we kind of move together.
Okay.
And as I'm running and beside her, I'm going to say, just so you know, your boyfriend sucks.
It's just it's not really him, but yeah, it's not a good look at the moment.
And you hear the godly voice of Tempus say, I'm sweet when you get to know me.
All right. So is this how it's playing out then? You guys are just running from the cellar?
I would say from Tempus, but yes.
Okay. So where do you guys see this ending up? Because Tempest is a little bit faster, so he'll slowly gain. But so he'd probably catch up to you guys around the staircase, I would say.
He's not going to pursue them.
Oh, okay. So what's Tempest doing then?
Gonna poke my nose into the last room.
Okay. And meanwhile, Ander and Yaereene, you guys are continuing to run for the stairs?
Yep.
So yeah, Tempest, same thing that Skippy already saw. You see a teleportation circle, a golden statue, and then the golden lines on the floor.
Tempus is gonna go back to the Dowrethian room, and same feelings of strength and power flowing through him.
Yep.
Okay, in game terms, Jesse the player is going to say that Tempus is going to try and cast Modify Memory so that he can remember the time that Yaereene told us where to find the Stormlord. Tempus is just trying to do something. He's trying to push this Dowrethian power to the fulfillment of his oath, to try and help Dowreth find the Stormlord so that Yaereene can be safe. How you want to rule that? Good luck, buddy. I leave it in your DMing hands.
Modify memory.
When cast at a high enough level, it allows you to remember memories and live through them. Here, let me find it.
Yeah. You remember the moment when she was speaking about it with the party. Um, Give me a perception check at advantage to see if you can fight through your distraction in that moment that stopped you from overhearing.
That's as good as it gets.
You remember what Yaereene said.
So in that moment when Tempus remembers that the Stormlord is in fact on the plane of existence where he originally sealed Shiro and Dowreth, I don't know. Can I try and keep that information back from Dowreth?
You can give me a wisdom saving throw at advantage.
Could I use my DM inspiration to make it at triple advantage?
Sure.
I mean, it doesn't make a thing, but that's almost as good as it gets, is an 18.
So you're not using the DM inspiration?
I mean, if you'll allow me to throw a third dice, here it comes.
Yep.
Not better, still pretty good with a 16. So my highest result is an 18.
As you remember what Yaereene said, you can feel Dowreth trying to break into your memories, and you manage to hold him back. And you hear him screaming in your mind to tell him where Stormlord is.
Tempus is going to take all of the power of that this shrine is falsely imbuing him with, and he's going to choose to die in this moment and self-destruct. And
Oh no!
he is going to try and blast his soul beyond oblivion so that Dowreth can't find it.
And Tempest collapses.
I have to say, I do not like this very much.
Yaereene and Ander, you guys get to the staircase. There's no sounds of anybody following you. What would you like?
I'm going to grab that halfling book.
Okay.
And I'm going to make my way upstairs. And just for good measure, I'm going to recast Disguise Self, because it's got to be getting close to an hour, right?
Yeah. You've been down here for a while.
Yeah, so I'm going to recast it, and so I look like a guard, and I'm going to escort her to the...
She's going to stop you waiting at the bottom of the stairs. She's waiting for Tempus.
Oh.
Sorry. She's kind of in a lot of conflicting feeling in this situation here. And as an FYI, that was my plan before your grand reveal. So you've kind of thrown things into chaos for me.
And we should help this guy over here.
Can I get you guys to roll wisdom checks? Not saving throws, just checks.
I've got no wisdom. What are you talking
about? It wasn't a very hard check, so Yaereene succeeds. You do realize that you haven't actually completed the mission that you were sent here to do.
Oh, crap. All right.
And she will point that out.
Well, then I go back into this room because I think this is probably to be the most likely room. There'd be some secret place. And I'll go into the middle of it and glare maybe close to this wall. Anyway, right there, I'm going to use the last of my Wand of Secrets.
Your Wand of Secrets doesn't show any secrets in the area.
All right, let's use the hard way. I'm making my way down here. Uh-oh.
Oh, hi.
What's that?
You see Tempus leaving the room, shambling towards you.
Oh, come on.
What did you think would happen?
I mean, something with a little bit more dignity than that.
Yaereene, are you going to roll?
Yes, sir, I missed.
Okay, no problem.
Not going to roll well.
That feels like the appropriate initiative for you in this situation, though.
Yeah.
It does.
Skippy, you see Tempus come shambling out of the room, and when he sees you, he moans.
Oh, great. Well, I immediately yell out to Yaereene that your boyfriend's a zombie.
That is not what she wanted to hear.
But
Skippy.
Like,
hasn't Grun talked to you more tact?
But a little bit more alarm than that. And he will shoot at the zombie with his crossbow.
Okay.
Just a shot.
That hits.
So 10 points of damage. And then he's going to shoot again.
And
So
that misses. You
11.
see this green eldritch power seep out of the room and surround the zombie, deflecting the bolt.
Ah.
Anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I think I still have my movement left, right? So I will book it. Hold on a second. That's what I do.
Okay.
Because I don't think I get a bonus if I use my.
No, your second attack was your bonus, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yaereene.
I am not a fan. I would just like to state that.
Yeah.
She'll draw her bow and ready in action to attack when she sees Tempus.
As the zombie of Tempus comes around the corner and looks at you, Yaereene, you see him smile, an insidious, horrible smile, unlike anything you've ever seen his face make, and he charges at you.
Do I get to shoot him as he comes around the corner first?
Yep.
Tears streaming down her face. She will shoot.
That'll hit.
And do I get to take my second shot or no?
No, because that was
Fair
a
enough.
reaction. Okay. Skippy.
Well, I think I should be able to get my sneak attack now.
Yep.
So I will fire twice. My first one will have the sneak attack, I guess.
Well, I think it's whichever one hits. Like if
Yeah,
one
yeah.
still
I'm just assuming I'm going to hit with both.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Roll your percentiles.
Yeah.
Roll against Yaereene.
I'm not 100% sure yet. 1 second. I have to bring up the card.
Boy, that'll be awfully sneaky if I shoot you, Yaereene.
Yeah, totally take me off guard.
Yeah, I think I should get my sneak attack against you. Oh no!
Okay, so you lose your footing. Roll a dexterity acrobatics check.
Just a sec here. I want to see what evasion says here.
Evasion isn't going to help here. You're just rolling an acrobatics check.
And that's saving throws.
Right.
Okay, so you do not fall prone, but your turn is ended, and melee attacks have advantage on you.
Wow, balls and balls and balls. I'm feeling guilty, like we've monopolized for a long time.
Well, they're still talking up there.
Are they? Oh, okay.
That was their job, to talk for a long time, regaling the king with all of the adventures.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So Yaereene, you have zombie Tempus right beside you.
Yeah, just let me check a feat.
Okay.
I do not have point blank shot, which is very unfortunate. But I do have sharpshooter. So if I move away, I can I will take an attack of opportunity and then I can shoot him, right?
Yeah,
Well, if you take a 5-foot step,
it doesn't matter. It's still leaving his threat range.
well, you could disengage, but you don't have that as a bonus action.
No, I'll take an attack of opportunity. You go ahead.
It's a swing and a miss.
Okay, so I know he wasn't wearing any armor. So
Nope.
We're going to see if it's still true in zombie form. So I'm going to take a -5 penalty to my attack roll to add 10 to my attack's damage.
Okay. 18 will hit.
So 29 points of damage.
Nice shot.
As I should have done this first, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast... No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to attack again.
Okay.
Same deal.
That's a hit.
28 points of damage. And I'm going to use a charge on my elven bow to do it again.
That's a hit.
22 points of damage.
And he goes down.
And she rushes over.
Okay.
What? Can she figure out anything about him? Like, what the hell happened?
He's a zombie. You don't know how it happened.
Are we out of initiative now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yaereene, we have to go.
Should we take his body with us? Like, this is terrible. Like, we need to save him. Something terrible has happened here.
I don't think there's any saving him from now. If we carry a body, we won't be able to make it out of here ourselves.
Well, what if I cast Pass Without Trace again and be very sneaky?
There's too many guards, Yaereene. We'll get the others in trouble if we alert them. We'll never get out.
We can't leave him here.
He left us. If there's any keepsakes, now's the time to get them.
Is there anything that she would know he would want saved?
I mean, there's Ysmyr's Cloak of Elven Kind, an Ioun Stone of Strength. There's his Blood Halberd, which honestly is a little bit heavy and unwieldy. He had the other Sending Stone that he had with you, Potion of Vitality in his pocket, and that's about it. Tempus traveled light for the most part.
She will take everything but the halberd. She's broken,
I'll
heartbroken.
put like a soft arm around her shoulder, just enough to like kind of guide her away, and yeah.
She's lost and will let you guide her at this moment.
Okay. As we get further away, I will try to speed her up a little bit to try to get to the top of the stairs and through the doors.
When we hit, sorry, I'm running into walls. When we hit here, she's going to barge into this room. He's dead. Dowreth turned him into a zombie. Can you save him?
No,
Why not?
because of how he wished to go.
Do you want to be free?
You're in the room with Yaereene?
Yeah, sorry, I'm right with Yaereene.
No problem. He nods and says, "Kill me so that I can join my son."
Kill you? No, I was going to free you.
That is freeing me.
Well, here's the problem. There was 3 of us that entered, and 3 of us has to leave.
I can't.
Your son loved this woman more than anything, and if you're unwilling to help us, she might be lost.
These are the chances we take.
Well, I believe a man has a right to choose his own destiny, and I'll go outside and to the wizards, and I assume they have like a dagger or something.
Yep.
I'll bring it back and I'll toss it to his feet, but I'm not going to do your dirty work.
Thank you.
Come on, Yaereene. And we go upstairs and nonchalantly pass through the door and out the. You know what? I'm going to disguise myself as Tempus,
Okay.
and that's my last spell of the day. And I'll say to Yaereene, as we leave the room, we'll talk as if the guard's staying inside, and we'll shut the door and just walk back to the food place, and they should be okay, right?
Okay.
Try to seem strong, just for a few minutes, until we get
She'll wipe away the tears and just look frozen cold, like nothing.
numb.
Sorry to interrupt. I know the dead shouldn't talk. One other important thing that was on Tempus's body, that shattered sword for Ysmyr.
Oh yeah, right.
Yes, and Yaereene would have recognized that.
Yeah.
And taken that.
And we still haven't completed our task, but I don't know how we do. Like, are we gonna spend an hour down there searching for? No, we got to get out. We just don't have any time left. If we stay any longer, we're gonna get caught. All right, ready?
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you very much for the tour there. We'll shut the door behind us and yeah, and he said just to head back to the banquet area that you could guide us.
My post is here, but he hollers down the hall. "Boy, Benjamin, can you take these guys to the dining hall?" Says, "Yep, sure, no problem." And he takes you guys up, and you can wait there until they're done talking to the king.
I'll set some water or some wine, I guess, or in
Yeah,
front.
they've got bottles in there.
Yeah, a bottle of wine in front of Yaereene and pour her a small glass and say, sip this, it might help.
She won't eat or drink a thing.
Yeah, but he'll basically give her space, but be there and that sort of thing.
Thank you, by the way.
Did she just say that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
me.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. I think I'm going to leave it there because it's getting late. And we will discuss between sessions, what plans you may have that the king may or may not agree to, and figure out what your next steps will be. But you successfully kept talking to him long enough that the heist group got back to the dining hall. 2 out of 3 of them, anyway.